No, no.
later.
So after a week of having this rubber band cut out, my hair obviously needed some moisturizing. So I dampened my hair with water and applied these 3 products in the hair. I also applied shea butter. And then using my crochet pin, I passed braiding hair through the cutout, and then I started to braid. I didn't use just the portion I passed out to braid. I also had another portion I added to it So when braiding this length of hair, and if you're a 4C hair person, a natural 4C hair person, it might not be so easy to hide the tips of your hair from showing through the braids. You get? Now, if that is a major concern for you, when you're getting towards the tips of your natural hair area, just take a strand, take a part, rather not strands, take a part of the braiding hair. Remember, when you are box braiding, you have 3 parts. Take one part and wrap it round the tip area to properly cover up the tips of your hair, and then you continue box braiding. That's if it's a concern to you. If it's not a concern to you, just go ahead and braid your hair like that. Actually, it's one of the things that comes with being a natural 4C hair person. So you just not put so much mind into that. Now, when I got to the front line of my hair, that's this first front line of my hair, I removed the rubber bands and used a new rubber band on it. Unfortunately, rubber bands have a way of kind of breaking the hair, you get that kind of thing. So I used a new rubber band, but I tried to make sure my grip wasn't so tight. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, try and make sure your grip is not so tight with rubber band, so you don't feel pain afterwards. So as you keep braiding, you need to make sure each braid at different levels have the same length. In doing so, I made one side of both braiding hairs longer than the other side. As you guys can see, both braiding hairs have one side longer than the other side, and I was looking down to make sure it measures the same length, which in my own case is towards the beginning of my hips. That's the end of my stomach. And this bending or flipping I did with my finger is what I refer to as the professional braider finger pulls. Well, I just feel that flip that flip just, I don't even know how to describe it, but when you see someone that braids well, that's always how they flip the braid. I don't know how to explain it basically. So because I made a side of each braiding hair longer than the other side, it will definitely get to a point where I'll need to take some hairs from either of the 2 parts that are longer to supplement the one that has shortage. That's one that has a short side of the braiding hairs. Remember, I said earlier in the video that you could take one part of the 3 parts of your braiding hair and wrap around the tips of your natural hair if you don't want the tips coming out through your braiding hair, especially if it's a colored braiding hair. But if you do not want that, you could try and roll or twist the natural hair like you're seeing me do here. Twist or roll it into the braiding hair, and that will help tuck the natural hair in the braiding hair. It might not completely do so, but at least to a very good extent, it will help tuck the tips of your natural hair into the braiding hair, and not let it pop out so much. I should also mention that as you get towards the end of your braids, in my case, I love to twist it. I don't just leave it like that. I love to twist towards the end. After braiding, you need to go ahead and trim each strand. Now, as much as I hate this part of the whole process, guys, it's really important. If not, the tiny hairs are going to be a nuisance on your skin. They're going to pinch you, choke you, whatever word that best describes it. If you're going to find it difficult, you can have someone help you do the trimming. And after that, you need to soak the hair in hot water. So I'm going to use a clip from a previous video to give a better explanation on how best to soak the hair yourself. I would only need you guys to be more imaginative here because I'm going to give an illustration. So here, imagine you have your hot water in a basin or a container like this. You would hold the end of your braids as I'm doing so, and then soak in the hot water. See how you can soak everything, like as much as you can, into the hot water. And then you bring out. When it's out, the tips are not going to look slick like this, rather they're going to look rough, but that is not an issue still. What you will do next is lower your grip on the braid. As you can see, my grip has come closer to the tip of the braid, and then soak it again into the hot water. All these things, you make sure you're doing them as quick as possible before the water gets cold. You then go in with your piece of rag to stretch out and detangle. Your hand is going to need to be in a certain form like I am showing here now, so that you can detangle while at the same time stretching out. So the process is detangle, stretch out, detangle, stretch out. So of course you're going to do this with your rag. You will detangle and then stretch out. After that, you go in with your scissors and trim as necessary. Of course, you need to apply hot water on other areas of the braid. If it's a wig, you can just lay the soaked rag on the braid like that and let the hot water flow down. But if it's someone's head, of course, you dry it out and just use the heat on the rag to touch the braid. Now we have the outcome, guys. All the long torrential I was speaking all this while, this is what it has led us to. This is it, guys. See how sleek the tips look. See what lockdown has caused. So ordinarily, if anyone had told me I would have braided hair on, I'll tell the person to lie. And braided hair, which is not a wig, like on my scalp, I'll call the person a liar. But look at me. Look at me. That is why I try to never say never. No. Sometimes I still say never. But I try as much as possible not to say never, because you really can't say what mood you find yourself in tomorrow. And then you do the same thing you swore you'd never do. So it just seems interesting. Only that it took me a little bit of getting used to, sleeping on something on my scalp. But I think I'll get used to it with time. So guys, I hope you loved the tutorial. And if any one of you decides to create this, do something like this, please tag me on your photo or on your video. You get, just tag me. I would love to see some recreation of some sorts. Like, those days when we were younger and we would hear things like people brought their heads down from their neck, placed it on their laps, and we're making their hair, all these boarding school tales and all that stuff. But look at me now. Like, I remember years back, I would see some people making their hair and I'd be like, what? But this is me. I braided my hair from start to finish, and it really wasn't anything. It took me 2 days, and 2 days was because I easily get distracted. I could be on the hair for a particular amount of time, and then I get tired. I want to go and cook. I want to clean up. I want to take my bath. I want to, I want to sleep. I want to watch movie. I want to watch YouTube. I listen to music. Like, so sometimes I just want to stay and listen to music. Like, do nothing, just listen to music. Me and my music time. I love music a lot, and then I'll come back again. Stuff like that basically. So that was why the hair took me 2 days to make. Ordinarily, if you are the kind of person who tends to not get distracted easily, then definitely you'll be able to do this in 1 day. Like, give yourself 1 day. And that is why I don't find it easy making people's hair, because
I'll most likely not finish. Most likely, like halfway or even quarter way along the process, I'll get tired and I want to do something else. So the wig is like my go-to because I can always pause after a while, go do whatever it is I want to do, come back again, continue with the wig and all that stuff. So yep, till my next video, guys. Stay blessed, stay out of trouble, stay safe, stay healthy, drink a lot of water, stay positive, stay beautiful, stay happy, take your multivitamins, take your vitamins, all that stuff. Just try and be safe, stay indoors. And as always, I love you all. Bye-bye.